Why do we have to record credit purchases? Business often buy items on credit. This could be materials, supplies, or services. To stay organized and avoid missing payments or duplicating expenses, we use a purchases journal. It's a great tool to keep all credit transactions recorded clearly in one place. What is a purchases journal? A purchases journal records all essential information about a credit transaction. It shows the date, supplier name, invoice number, what was bought, the value of the items, any GST charge, and total amount payable. It's especially helpful for businesses that make credit purchases regularly. Let's look at a real-world example. In this example, Lisa, the landscaper. Lisa buys materials like garden supplies and timber from several suppliers on credit. By using a purchases journal, she can see all her monthly credits, purchases clearly and keep things tidy for accounting. Each column in Lisa's purchases journal tells part of the story. Garden supplies and timber show what she's buying. Sundries are for rare or unusual purchases like office stationery or staff amenities. GST is the added tax, and accounts payable is the total amount Lisa owes for each transaction. Keep in mind, this journal shows all purchases on credit for a specific time period, but it doesn't tell us how much is owed to each supplier. For that, Lisa would need separate records for each supplier, something called individual accounts payable records. Let's have a look at the next slide to learn more about the accounts payable records. Before we move on to accounts payable records, just remember the important notes on this. Purchases journal tracks purchases for a period, not individual balances. So, accounts payable records are needed to track amounts owed to each supplier. These records helps stay organized and clear for tax and audits. Let's talk about what are accounts payable records. Accounts payable records help businesses track how much they owe to suppliers after buying goods or services on credit. It's an essential part of managing day-to-day finances. Why keep individual supplier records? By keeping separate records for each supplier, businesses can easily identify who they owe money to, verify invoices, and analyze where their money is going over time. In this slide, there are 3 examples of accounts payable records for different companies. Each transaction is recorded with date, invoice number, and the updated balance. One way to record a transaction is to combine the total purchases and GST as one amount. It's fast and efficient, but doesn't separate cost and tax though. In this slide, we separate both GST and product costs separately. This is an alternative method to break down the entry into product cost and GST. This provides a clear picture for tax reporting and cost analysis. After transactions are recorded in the purchases journal, they are posted into the accounts payable records for each supplier. This process helps maintain accuracy and traceability. Just notice the difference in how purchases are labeled. So they categorize soil, pots and plants as garden supplies, wood, nails and screws as timber, This is just reflect the purpose of the purchases. For service businesses, categorizing purchases by type makes it easier to calculate cost for specific jobs or services. So let's have a look at the cash payment transactions in an accounts payable records. In this scenario here, on August 4th and 31, there are some cash payments done to reliable loan suppliers. After recording the payments, the accounts payable for reliable loan supplies is updated accordingly, as you would see. Only the most recent invoice remains unpaid. If we ignore the cash payments, we might think the business still owes everything. Including these transactions give a complete picture of what's been paid and what's still owed. In summary, start with the purchases journal, then credit purchases are posted to individual accounts payable records, then cash payments are recorded when made, and accounts payable balances are adjusted. Let's have a look at some questions. So it will help you to understand what is purchases journal, what are accounts payable individual records, and then how do we show accounts payable balances. So in this question is asking you to use the information in the question and prepare a purchase journal, then transfer the purchase journal records for accounts payable and show accounts payable balances as at 31st of July 28. As usual, I would recommend please pause the video and try to answer the question by your own and then read the answer. So this is the answer. So the question is asking to prepare the purchase journal. So on these days, from these suppliers, these invoice numbers, I have divided the expenses by their type. So this Doncaster has both electrical materials and light fittings, and we have a sundry column, and we have GST charge separately and accounts payable. And question B is asking to record individual accounts payable records, and so 3 suppliers, as you would see, the wholesale electrics, individual accounts payable amounts, and Lights R Us individual accounts payable amounts, and Red Hot Electrics individual accounts payable records. And at the end of the 31st of July 2028, these are the amounts that are owing to these suppliers. In another word, accounts payable from the company to these suppliers. Please review the answers with your answers to see if you got them right. So the question 2 is again asking to prepare credit purchase journal, the individual accounts payable records including cash transactions. In this example, in this question, we have some cash payments that you need to account for, and then finally show the accounts payable balances to individual suppliers. Again, please pause the video, try it on your own, and then review the answers. So question A, for hot air ballooning company, the purchases journal shows like that. So the expenses are divided into 3 different categories: silk, baskets, and sundries. Purchases from these suppliers on these dates, these invoice numbers, GST charge shown separately, and then accounts payable amounts. Question B, showing individual accounts payable records, included the cash payments here as well. So first 2 days, for example, bulk silk suppliers have purchases silk worth of $6,270, and then August 11 there was a cash payment of $2,970. Cash payment helped reduce the accounts payable balance to $3,300. So at the end of August 23rd, what's owing to bulk silk supplies is only $1,760. So Bellina baskets money owed as at the end of August is $3,170. So the accounts payable balances as at 31st of August is 1,760 for bulk silk supplies and Bellina baskets 3,170. So review these answers with your answers, please. Then read this practice exam style question. Again, compare your answers with my answers here. I hope you will get them right. If not, please review the answers and try the questions again. So this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new today, and this will help you to revise your accounting knowledge about credit purchases. Until next time, take care. Bye.